I think that when this opportunity came about, when I first heard about it, I was so excited. Like I just knew that it was my time to get outside my comfort zone. The style of play that you guys are playing here, that Stephanie is going to bring here, it's run and gun, it's shooters, it's emotion offense. And so my eyes lit up like a Christmas tree. So
Sophie Cunningham built her career on grit. From the moment she stepped onto a court, her approach was simple: play hard, play fearless, and never apologize for it. She was the player who dove for loose balls, took contact without complaint, and played with a physical edge that made opponents think twice. That identity carried her from high school championships to the WNBA, and it became the foundation of her reputation. But in the last year, that image has shifted. The intensity is still there, but now it's paired with something new, an added layer of presence, confidence, and influence that extends beyond box scores. She's gone from being known as a relentless role player to becoming one of the central figures in the Indiana Fever's identity. It's not a marketing spin or a rebrand. It's a transformation that has played out on the court, in the locker room, and in the public eye. The change didn't happen overnight. It's the result of years of experience, a career reset, and a willingness to step into roles other players avoid. This is the story of how Sophie Cunningham went from dependable hustle player to a cultural driver for one of the WNBA's most talked about teams. Sophie Cunningham's game has always been rooted in winning habits. At Rockbridge High School in Columbia, Missouri, she led her team to 4 straight state championships, scored nearly 2,000 career points, and earned McDonald's All-American honors. At the University of Missouri, she started all 129 games across 4 seasons, surpassing 2,100 points while maintaining high shooting efficiency. Her style was aggressive and direct, attacking the lane, taking contact, and setting the tone for her teammates. In 2019, the Phoenix Mercury made her the 13th overall pick, the highest draft selection in Missouri history. Her rookie year wasn't about headlines. It was about proving she belonged. She earned minutes by outworking others, defending hard and taking open shots without hesitation. 6 seasons in Phoenix reinforced her reputation for grit and reliability. But over time, the role that once fueled her began to feel too familiar. To grow, she needed something different. By 2025, Sophie Cunningham had spent 6 seasons with the Phoenix Mercury. She knew the system, the city, and the expectations. That familiarity was comfortable, but comfort can dull an edge. For a player built on intensity, that was a problem. The solution came in the form of a 4-team trade that sent her to the Indiana Fever. The move put her in a younger, faster environment headlined by Caitlin Clark's star power and Aaliyah Boston's dominance inside. In Indiana, there was no time to ease in. The pace was quicker, the competition for minutes sharper, and the expectations higher. Training camp set the tone. Cunningham treated every drill like it was a playoff possession. Coaches praised her versatility, teammates respected her effort, and it was clear she had arrived not just to adapt, but to lead. On June 17, 2025, the Indiana Fever faced the Connecticut Sun in a heated matchup. Midway through the game, Caitlin Clark took a poke to the eye during a scramble under the rim. Before the crowd processed what happened, Sophie Cunningham crossed the court and shoved J.C. Sheldon to the floor. The officials called a flagrant foul and ejected her. The reaction split instantly. Fans praised her loyalty. Critics called it excessive. But to Cunningham, it was about sending a message. No one touched her teammates without consequence.
Cunningham picks up the board. Here she comes. Sophie steps into the 3.
Is loving being in Indianapolis. She loves this team. She's feeling it on these.
That moment made her more than a contributor off the bench. It defined her as the team's enforcer, someone who would take a stand in real time regardless of the scoreboard. For the Fever, it signaled a culture shift. Cunningham wasn't just playing in Indiana, she was protecting it. Cunningham's role in Indiana isn't about starting, it's about changing the game the moment she checks in. Off the bench, she brings instant energy, defensive pressure increases, the ball moves faster, and teammates feed off her urgency. She can hit the deep 3, drive through traffic, or make the defensive stop that flips momentum. Coaches credit her for raising the team's intensity, and players trust her to set the tone when the pace dips. Her contributions don't always dominate the box score, but her impact is felt. She's not the franchise's headline act, but she's its fire. In a league where bench minutes can fade into background noise, Cunningham turns hers into a spark that forces opponents to adjust. Cunningham's influence isn't limited to the court. She's become one of the team's most direct voices. After a poor shooting night early in the season, she didn't sugarcoat it. "We're never going to shoot 30% again, I hope." It was equal parts challenge and warning. The turning point came when she told reporters, "No more motion offense," during a post-game interview. The clip went viral. Caitlin Clark reposted it with the words, "100% with you," signaling public support from the team's biggest star. Fans loved the honesty. Media outlets debated whether it was leadership or controversy. Inside the locker room, it was taken for what it was: accountability. Cunningham said what others were thinking, and in doing so, set the standard for the Fever's expectations moving forward. Cunningham's transformation isn't only about basketball. Off the court, she's built a distinct presence. A viral moment in August 2024, walking into a game in a color block mini dress, showed a new confidence in her personal style. Since then, her fashion choices have become part of her public image, ranging from bold streetwear to casual, functional looks. On social media, she's unfiltered. Her posts mix training clips, behind-the-scenes moments, and lighthearted content with teammates. The result feels authentic, not curated for image alone. She's also reworked her approach to fitness and nutrition, partnering with Quest Nutrition and focusing on performance-focused meals. Off-seasons often take her back to her family's farm in Missouri, where she trains hard in the mornings and spends afternoons grounded in faith and family. This balance, discipline in preparation, personality in presentation, has helped redefine how fans see her.
A lot of ups and downs in the WNBA this season. To take care of business in a winning streak like this, what does that sort of say about how this team's come together?
Yeah, Seattle's a great team, a great team, and it's hard to play here. And so we knew that. We knew that they just came off kind of a bad loss against LA. And so they were hungry for a win. But for us, it's not about other teams. It's about our standard. It's about stacking the days. And I think that where our mental's at as a team and as individuals, we're in a really good spot. And, it's not going to be easy moving forward. But I think today we stayed true to the scout. We trusted the offense. Kelsey has been having a hell of a season. She was a little bit off, but she facilitated for us offensively down the stretch. And it just shows that everyone has something to give, even if your scoring's not going to be there.
Cunningham's impact in Indiana extends beyond games. She's active in the community, supporting causes like the Ronald McDonald House and hosting the Sophie Cunningham Classic to spotlight young Midwestern athletes. Her approach is consistent. Use her platform to give back, not just promote herself. Inside the team, she's a connector. She passes on lessons learned from veterans like Diana Taurasi to younger players, especially Caitlin Clark. She leads warm-ups, calls out defensive switches, and keeps the energy high during breaks. Teammates and coaches describe her as the team's heartbeat, a player who lightens the mood but demands focus when it's needed. That blend of accountability and camaraderie has helped strengthen the Fever's identity as a competitive, unified group. The move to Indiana marked a reset for Cunningham. In Phoenix, she admitted she'd grown comfortable. With the Fever, she leaned into discomfort, embracing a faster system and higher expectations. The front office praised her competitiveness, and coach Stephanie White trusted her voice on the court. She's become a player who can guard multiple positions, stretch the floor with her shooting, and inject energy in critical moments. Fans have responded. Her jersey sales rose after her high-profile defense of Clark, and her on-court intensity has made her a favorite among the team's growing base. She plays with the same edge she's always had, but now with a sharper sense of leadership. Cunningham's second act is less about reinvention and more about elevation, taking the traits that defined her and amplifying them in a setting that rewards her style. Sophie Cunningham's arrival in Indiana could have been a routine veteran move, a steady bench player adding depth to a young roster. Instead, it became one of the defining shifts in the Fever's 2025 season. She didn't come to blend in. She came to disrupt patterns, raise expectations, and make her presence impossible to ignore.
Growth that we've had as a team, because early in the season we were just so inconsistent, and if teams were to do that, we would normally lose those games, but it just shows that we're getting closer, we're trusting each other, and I think that's the biggest part, is trusting and knowing that we can win those games even if they go on.
On the court, her influence shows in ways that aren't always reflected in numbers. The Fever play with more pace when she's on the floor. Defensive possessions last longer because she contests every pass, every shot, and every loose ball. She sets hard screens, rotates without hesitation, and talks through every possession. Off the court, her role is just as critical. When team energy dips, she speaks up. When the message needs to be direct, she delivers it without worrying about reaction. That blunt style isn't for everyone, but in a competitive locker room, it cuts through the noise. Teammates know exactly where she stands, and more importantly, that she stands with them. Her presence has also shifted how the Fever are perceived. Before, Indiana's attention centered almost entirely on Caitlin Clark's arrival and potential. Now, Conversations include Cunningham's leadership, edge, and the cultural toughness she's brought to the roster. It's no longer just about talent, it's about identity. This transformation is bigger than one season. Cunningham's approach has laid a foundation that can outlast her tenure in Indiana. Young players are seeing what it looks like to combine skill with accountability. Veterans are reminded that leadership doesn't require a starting spot or top scoring average. It requires presence, consistency, and a willingness to say what needs to be said. The story of Sophie Cunningham's second act is not about a career reinvention. It's about taking the same relentless energy that's always defined her and expanding it into every corner of the team. She's more than a spark now. She's the flame that keeps Indiana's fire burning, and as long as she's on the roster, the fever won't cool down anytime soon. Not now, not ever again.